So I'm going to make spaghetti bolognese. I'm going to make banana biscuits, and I'm going to make falafels all at the same time. We've got 3/4 of an hour now before we need to leave, so I'm going to quickly put together those items. This won't be a pretty affair, but we're going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to try and put you somewhere where you can sort of, also it will be interrupted by children being angry at each other. Put you there. Just going to pause temporarily, go and find the babies. Okay, so that's dealt with. So I am, first of all, I'm going to put the spaghetti bolognese on because that's the most important. So I've got a bowl, basically I've got leftover chilli here. This is leftover from, this is a batch I make on Tuesdays, and then I have it on Friday night, and now it's left over here. So that's going to go straight into the pan. Give it a rinse out to get the last bits in, and that will be now my base for the spaghetti bolognese. I'm going to add some, start that heating up. That's all in there at the moment. It's my spaghetti bolognese in there. I'm going to now put in some, I basically now top it up with veg so that it reaches the top of the saucepan. I've got some peppers, frozen peppers being delivered tonight, so I know I can use the rest of these. So I'm going to put some frozen peppers in there. It's a bolognese, so I know I can put meat-free vegetarian mince in there, that's free. It wants to be kind of quite a high level amount of mince anyway because it's a bolognese, so dump that in there, it's quite a good filler. But now obviously I've got quite a lot of free food in there with my mince, and the rest of the chilli was kind of half and half, but I need to make sure I'm topping up some more speed food in there. As I'll bring you down into my freezer. So I'm basically now looking through here, and I've got sweet corn here I can use. I've got mixed vegetables. I've got, what else I've got? I've got some spinach. So because I haven't got a tremendous amount of speed in there, I'm going to dump a couple of little bits of spinach in there, and I'm going to top up with some sweet corn and some mixed veg. I'll pop it up there again. Spinach is quite a strong flavour, it works really well in the curries, but I don't want to put too much in the spaghetti bolognese, so I'm going to put about, you know, they come in like little small little chunks, so I'm going to put maybe 2 or 3 in there, like that. Bit of frozen sweet corn. Some mushrooms hiding behind the mixed veg. The mushrooms are really great, they're speed food. Dump that in. I'm having a quick look now and see how much I've already got in there, which is that much. There's quite a fair amount of food already still in there, so I reckon I'm going to go for probably just another tin of tomatoes, and I think I'm there. To work out and to fill it up, but not too much. I think I'll save the mixed veg. That's another thing. My kitchen's quite messy because obviously last night did not go to plan. My daughter was ill, etc, etc. We had to do lots of things. So at the same point of this, I can't let that stop me cooking, otherwise I shan't get anything done. So what I need to do is cook at the same time. I'm just chopping open these Sainsbury's Basics chopped tomatoes and tomato juice. So I'm going to chop that open, and I can't let the fact that my kitchen's messy right now stop me cooking the food for tonight. I'll just have to, you know, basically just do a bit of tidying up at the same time once everything's in already. So I empty that out, poking a bit of water in there, and then I'm going to tip the rest of that into the spaghetti bolognese. I rinsed that thoroughly out now, and that's on the side now, drying, ready to go in the recycling. Okay, so now I just need to find something to stir with. There it is. Use my little wooden spoon. I'm just going to give that a little stir, and then I'm going to put the lid on. So I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. Now it's going to have quite a lot of flavour in there from the chilli, but I need to just change the flavour ever so slightly into more of a spaghetti bolognese flavour. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to add a bit more herbs. I haven't been using stock cubes recently because I used to use Basics Sainsbury's stock cubes, but they stopped doing the Basics ones. So I can't find them in Sainsbury's own Sainsbury's shop, and they don't seem to be online. So I had to swap over to the One Up, but because it doesn't crumble the same, it's kind of like it's soft, and that doesn't work for me because I need to be able to crumble it in. So basically I'm just not using that anymore. They might bring it back out again, but in the meantime I'm just not using stock cubes. So I'm going to use different flavours. So I'm just going to dump some mixed herbs in, just to give it that kind of more tomatoey herby flavour, and also my go-to, which is some paprika. Has been reused so much. I basically refill it with this, you know, the cheaper paprika powder, and then just refill my little container. So I'm going to dump a little bit of that in. That just adds a little bit of kind of sweetness, I think, the sweetness of the tomatoes. So basically that's now going to carry on its merry way. I'm going to put the lid on it, and that can now do its thing. Okay, so that's the first thing set in motion. I need to now, I'm just literally just having a quick tidy through, just to make sure I'm cleaning my space a little tiny bit. Now I need to now make some falafels, so I'm going to use a pan. I usually have a nice pan. I'm not going to use, where's my pan? There it is, in front of my eyes, brilliant. So I'm going to use this pan. It's going to hold a little bit more, and the other pan, the frying pan, I tend to use for potatoes on Mondays, and sometimes life doesn't go to plan. I don't manage to wash everything up, so I don't like to use that pan just in case I've sort of run out of time and then I can't use that on the Monday. Just have a quick tidy through just to try and clear my space as I go. Okay, so now I'm at falafel stage. So for my falafels I'm going to need some onions. Now I have been trying them with sweet potato. The last one I did was good, it was just a bit too moist. And so some grapefruit left over, so you can dump that in there. Out of the way. Okay, so I'm also just going to grab a quick drink. A bit of water. Right, so I need to put some onions in here. Counted 6. There's 5 in my hand. I'm not good at maths. No, I am good at maths. But, right. I'm going to put 5 onions in. So I'm going to chop those up. Put you down there temporarily. I'm going to chop these onions up. Always have to get myself a little container to put my rubbish in because I'm terrible at chucking everything everywhere. So I'm just going to lift this bin up. put it over here so I can just dump it in there. God's back where they need to go. Okay. Right then, these are my little baking trays for me to put my falafels on and my little bananas on. Okay, so we're going to get these onions done as fast as humanly possible. It's got a bit of slime on the side, so I just have to cut that off. It's a bit tough, I think, sometimes. Put extras on there. Okay. So I'm chopping them in half, then lengthways, then sideways again, and just dump them in the pan. I've been not using so much fry light recently, just firstly because it's quite expensive, but also I don't really like it when I have to rely on an ingredient. So I'm trying to sort of, you know, because suddenly if it's not there, I can't really do anything else with it. So trying to be, you know, trying to keep myself from being stuck, trying to stop, you know, trying to make sure I don't give myself excuses, which is also easy to do. The brain's always ready to accept any excuses you give it. Okay, so I think I'm 10 minutes in. This is the longest job, doing the onions. I used to do a mammoth onion chop at the weekend, and then I would just freeze all my onions, which I think I might do again at some point, but you could just sort of stand and chop a whole bag of onions and freeze it up, so all you have to do is quickly just dump some across. It would save me time during the week. It would take a huge amount of time, but I'd rather take a bit of time. So far I think this is now I've got one left over there and I had 5. So I think this is my 4th onion. It's not too bad, it's not getting me too much in my eyes, it's starting to go now. So I'll just give it a quick, I'll just chop this and then give everything a quick rinse because that'll take the sting away. Okay, so we've got onions in the pan. I'm going to use water instead of fry light just to soften it slightly. I'm going to use the same spoon that I've been stirring the bolagnaise with. And we've got, so in this falafel mix, I need it to be pretty spicy. I need it to be flavoursome. I'm going to put in some garlic granules. I'm just going to put a little sprinkle in. I'm going to put in some paprika. Put down a cupboard instead of in my spice rack. So we're some paprika. We're going to put in some ground coriander seed. Just a little sprinkle. So far that's what it's got in, just a little sprinkle of everything. I'm going to put in some garam masala. Some garam masala. I'm going to give that a little sprinkle through. Probably about half a teaspoon. Just shut the door. Because my house has a smoke alarm in the hallway, which means that when I all kind of, I basically set the smoke alarm off sometimes. I have to shut the door when I'm cooking. Right, so the spaghetti bolognese now has softened down nicely. It's all started to get kind of sloppy. lid back on, do its thing. Right, we're nearly there. So while that onion is cooking down, I'm going to open a tin of chickpeas. So I've got this little tin of chickpeas here. I'm just going to turn that onion sweating down a little bit. I've got myself a new tin opener because my old tin opener was it wouldn't turn, so I just have to pierce the tin as I'm going around, and although I can live with that, it's not really a big deal. I thought it's a lot easier with the tin opener. It actually opens tins. Just going to snip this out of its packaging. I'm just going to put this in the bin as in their recycling. Because I'm terrible, if I don't do it immediately it just ends up on the side. So I'm just going to open the tin of chickpeas. That's much better. So relaxing using a tin opener that works. Hooray, my tin is open. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I don't use a strainer because then I have to wash up the strainer. I have no idea how to show this to you. I'm going to put my phone somewhere safe. How this is going to work out. Maybe try my best without tipping my phone in the sink. I'm going to put my hand over it. I'm going to tip the chickpeas into it. Oh, it's going pretty well. And then I'm going to just tip that back in. I'll give it a little rinse out. I'm going to put my hand over it again, tip it out, do another little rinse. I'm just going to let that dribble out, and that's rinsed it out. On the inside, one more, so I can still feel the stickiness coming out onto my hand. Okay, that's done. Lovely. With me, come on over here, and then we're going to just tip this into the onions there. Okay, so what we've got here is some onions, and we've got some chickpeas and some spices. Basically, this time around I want to go for quite a dry one. I quite enjoyed the first dry one, and the first one I put carrots in as well, but I'm not sure about, I don't know whether I want to do carrots again because carrots are a bit annoying. I think this time round I'm quite tempted to put a piece, like just one single piece of spinach in, but it's going to be quite wet. I might do it anyway. I'll put a single piece of spinach in, just one of those things, and then I'm going to put that now. Let that flavour through. Okay, so he's cooking down nicely. I'm going to get that heat up again. Right, these falafels aren't overly hot often, so I'm going to put a little bit of chilli in there. I've got some crushed chilli, just to give it that little bit more spice. Now, I've got the smallest one here is half a teaspoon, but I think that's going to be a bit much. So I'm just going to put half a teaspoon. Yeah, I'll try that out. I have to rinse these immediately again, otherwise they stay on the side. Just going to rinse my chickpea tin out. Put it on the side to drain. Quick drink. Okay, so I'm just going to stir everything a little bit now. So some garam masala in there, I've got some coriander, and I've got some chilli in there, and I think that'll be right. I'm just going to give it a quick smell, put some salt and pepper in there as well. It's about overly spicy. Give it another try. It's quite oniony at the moment. Might put another little lot of, what should I put in now? tiny bit more garam masala in. The chickpeas and the onion take up a lot of the flavour. Okay, so I'm going to let that settle itself down a little bit. I'm going to crack on with this banana, otherwise that's not going to get done. Okay, so I'm going to turn that spaghetti bolognese down now. It's pretty much there. I'm going to put my extra onion away. Okay, I'm just going to rinse this, get this out of the way. Okay, so that's the container I normally use to put my little banana biscuits in, so I'm going to leave that there. I need now a little bowl. Here we go. Doing just right. Okay, so I've got a bowl and a fork. This is sticking nicely, so I think this is going to be good. Get it nice and the falafel. It's going to get nice and dry. I think it'll be just right. I'll turn that right down. Okay, so I'm going to have a banana. The banana's going to go in the bowl. Banana. I'm going to put that in the bowl and I'm going to mash it. Banana, bowl, mash. Okay. I'm going to crush it down with the fork. I'm not going to be able to do that one-handed. Over and put you on the baking tin. Just mashing that with a fork until it's kind of sludgy and looks a bit disgusting. I'm not going to put any nuts today, and I don't think. I might do, because I was thinking about walnuts. Walnuts might be good. I can't remember who said. Oh, it was Jane Day said about putting some walnuts in, and I thought it'd be quite good to have something I wouldn't have to crush with my pestle and mortar, that I could just crumble with my hands. So, because anything takes too long, you just think, oh, I can't bother that. It takes forever. So, what did I do last time with my cashew nuts? Cashew nuts were 2 sin. Walnuts were 1 sin. So I could probably put 2 sins divided by 8 is a quarter. 2 sins divided by 8. Yeah, it's a quarter of a sin. So I put 4 walnuts in, because 1 walnut is 1 sin. There you go, this flafel's looking good. Nice, and you see how dry it's getting? It's really sticking. It's really sticking to the bottom. That's kind of what I need it to be, like nice and dry. So it's going to be a sort of a nice dry thing there. What I'm going to do now is pretty much there actually. I'm going to turn that off so that it's not so flamingly hot when I try and mould it into balls in a minute. Okay, so I'm after, so yeah, what was I going to do? 4 sins, well, yeah, exactly, 4 sins divided by 8, it's obviously half sin each, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put 4 walnuts in it. I've got my walnuts, got my little, I'll try and put all my nuts all up here in this kind of cupboard up here. Walnuts. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 walnuts in. I think nuts in it is quite a good idea, but I just don't want to be mashing stuff all the time. So I've got, well, obviously 4 walnut halves. 1, 2, 3, an actual half, 4. This one isn't officially a walnut half, it's a bit broken off, but we'll survive. Okay. So also I need 7 grams of sultanas, and I need 50 grams of oats. So I'm going to get my sultanas out, and at this point it's saved over the weighing machine. Okay, here's the weighing machine. I'm going to put this up here, I'm going to put that there. Set that to 0 with the fork in there as well, so that I've mashed up my banana, and that's now at 0. I've got to change to ounces for some reason. 0 grams. I'm going to put in I'm going to weigh my little chaps. Sultanas. I want to have 7 grams of sultanas, which is it's usually around a small little handful. Let's see that, 6 grams. So I'll put one more in. Another one in. 7 grams. Okay, lovely. Put on there. Put that straight away. I've got to be so good at trying not to put everything on the side. Okay, so that's 7 grams. You see, 7 grams. Lovely. And we've got to have now our oats. I want 50 grams of oats. So at the moment, I've got up to 8 grams now. Always does, doesn't it, when you like shift it slightly. Okay, so I've still got some on the top, so I can take some away. Okay, so 7 grams. Take that little piece out. I don't know why it's gone up so much. There we go. Right, stay. Okay, so basically now I need to put 50, so it needs to read 57. For 54, 55, 56, 57 done. Okay, last scraps back in. So now I'm going to put that together. My little sultanas I've had to take out. My sultana packet. Starting to get a bit hungry now. But if I finish at 11:15, that gives me then half an hour to kind of get myself ready, and in that time I can be having breakfast. But I must make sure I eat breakfast before I go, because otherwise I will be hungry for quite a lot of it. So I'm now crumbling in quite a lot of the day, and that's not really a good choice. Not a good choice at all. So I'm crumbling in my walnuts, just crumbling in my hands, trying to get as small as possible. Okay, so this will, that's some picture falling down off the wall. Okay, so these little banana nut bites will be there will be 2.5 cents now each. My falafels are free with the speed food in there. I do love the falafel because that's such a useful thing to have. Okay, so what did I forget in there? Some spices. So we're going to have some cinnamon. We're going to have some ground ginger. We're going to have some nutmeg. I'm going to have some ground mixed spice. Ground mixed spice. Okay, just a little tiny scrap each, like half a teaspoon or so, something like that each. I'm just going to give that a good old mix round. Okay, so now I'm going to put the oven on. There's nothing in there. My oven is completely rubbish in the fact that I have no idea how to sort of actually get it to be an actual certain temperature. So basically what I have to do if I'm making anything like this, I have to start it. I don't want to preheat it at all because otherwise it'll just burn everything. So I have to basically cook the stuff in in the first preheating part of it. So this is nicely mushed up. There, cook it basically from when the oven is cold. Okay, so what I want to do, I've got this banana mix, he's looking nice. I'm going to put him to one side. Just have a bit of water. That won't fit under there, so I'll put it there. I've got banana skin here, I need to put that in the bin. The bin's just there, so that's there. Okay, put my tin opener away. Put the scissors away. Okay, clean this off. Put my measuring scale away. Okay, so now I've got a place now to mash. I need to mash the I'm gonna mash my little mush pile that I've made out of chickpeas and spinach and all sorts of things. He's still cooking away, so I'm going to turn that spaghetti bolognese off now, and then once this oven is done its thing, basically it's going to sit up here on this, that's very hot, on this top here, and then when I leave I'm going to put it in the oven. Excuse me. I'm not going to cook it in the oven, but I'm going to store it in the oven so it gets kept safe. And so basically when I get home, I put the whole thing in, you know, the wok and all, the whole saucepan thing. And then when I get back, I can then just lift it out, warm it through, and then have a spaghetti with it. So that works really well. Okay, so this is getting to be a nice, like, mashed potato-y type consistency. It's going to be quite warm. Okay, so spaghetti bolognese done. I need to now turn this round. I'm going to put you up here now, temporarily. I'm going to get this ready for my banana. I'm going to get this ready for my falafel. Can't eat this, looks so out of small pleasures. I've got like a little, this is where this tiny one can fit, this is where this fits, and this still fits there, so it's perfect. I've got, I'm just going to mash this up. And this might be a bit hot for my hands, but not too bad. It's not too bad. This needs to go straight in the whey wash because otherwise it will stick on. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of fry light for the base underneath the falafels. Use a little bit of fry light underneath the banana thingies just to stop them sticking. Right, okay, so now what I'm going to do is with the falafels, I'm going to pick up an amount. I'm going to roll it into a ball. So let's bring you down a bit so you can see that a little bit easier. Put my hand in. I'm going to sort of about a little bit more than that probably, just that sort of amount. I'm just going to roll it very lightly in my hand, and it's just going to end up like that. And we're going to end up with a row of little falafels that will just basically, all the moisture will come right back out. I decided that I think I quite like, he's a bit big, still some for him. I think I quite like the drier texture of a falafel. I don't know whether I like the softness that the sweet potato added, and I don't know whether I want to go to the extra effort of putting together a sweet potato mash that goes with it. If I've got leftovers, it's quite useful, but on the other hand, it's quite a bit of a mission, and I really don't want food that's complicated or tricky to make. I need it to be extremely simple so that I can do it almost without thinking. So we're nearly there now. My hands are starting to get a bit sticky, and so for that it's getting trickier, so I'm just going to quickly rinse my hands off. I've not dried my hands obviously because there's no particular need. I'm going to get a bit more space on the little tray. It's a bit big, but that's 5. Okay, I think we're going to get one more out of there. Okay, I think that will be just right. I'm just going to rinse my hands again because it's sticky. Just give this pan a quick rinse out. Otherwise that will be stuck on there. Very much so. Okay, so what we've got here is a these are now some little falafels. I'm going to put them straight away in so they're out of my way. Put them at the bottom for some reason, I don't know why particularly. Okay, so now I've got this small amount. I'm going to do exactly the same. Just check my hands don't, not too stinky of. I'm going to wet my hands, I think, because they're quite, I know, I remember. It's not a job for the hands, this one. It's a job for scooping out and plopping into little shapes. Those are very sticky. I don't know how I'm going to show this. If I can put you up on something. Here, some pickled onion things. I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know. Here we go. Just going to put you like that. So I'm scooping it out and putting it on the tray. So I'm going to do that, and it's just little teaspoonfuls of it. I need to, forgot again. Okay, I need to split this into 8. So what I do first, not concentrating, that's my trouble. I have to make it into this, let me hold it if I can hold it at the same time as chop. I need to make it into a square, and I need to now make it into 8. So I'm going to make it into 4 pieces, and then after it's in 4 pieces I need to then split each one, so then it's in 8 pieces. That one at the end's a bit tiny, so I'm going to scoop some out there. So once that's into 8 pieces, then that needs to go back onto my tray, and then I know that that is 2.5 sins. Sorry about that. I've sort of done it a few times, and I've kind of accumulated some ideas along the way, and I conveniently forgot them. So otherwise there's not really much hope of knowing how you're going to get 8 out of it. That's split it out first. Okay, so they are now in. So I don't know how long these are going to take, because I basically do them until they are browned. This last little one, I think that's, these are now evenly spread like that. In they go. Right, I've had a few licks of my fingers, so I have to think about how it's going to go. This whole thing, the whole thing was 2.5 sins each. So there's a few bits of oats and such, so if I make sure that I count. It's tricky to know. I'm not going to eat all of these likely, they're probably going to share. So if I just count my licks of my fingers that I've had over that time as half a sin, then I'll be safe. Okay, so, because then some of them might be under 2.5 sins, some of them might be over, but we'll be safe in that regard. Right, so that is everything in. I'm going to stop there, and I will do, well, I said I'd do a little video of it finished, but that'll be when I'm eating it, so I'll probably just put that in my what I eat in the day. So that's taken me just under 40 minutes to do those 3 things, and obviously now they'll probably take around, should we say 15 minutes, something like that, to cook in. The spaghetti bolognese is done, and those other things there will cook at the same time. Alright, so it was a bit muddly, and I hope it has been of any use to you whatsoever. Try again. I hope it has been of some use to you, and I'd be really interested to know if there's a different ways you do things, or in different ways in which you enjoy your foods, like different recipes, different ideas you could give me and those sorts of things. I'd appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to wash up now. See you in a bit. Bye.